if Sanopia as a moderator will lead this debate. In this debate, we have 4 people as participants with from the pro section. There is Hilda A and Helwa AW. And the counter section, there are Muhammad Ramdan and Raudya KB. Still in this debate, that boy and girls solve this paradox in the different class. This debate will be divided into 2 sessions, and the first session is the argument giving session. And the second session is a stopover session with a closing ending. There will be a conclusion from the end of this debate. For the argument session, each team is given 2.5 minutes, and for a stopover session for each person, 1.5 minutes. And if the moderator has said start, then the team can start talking. And if the moderator says stop, then each team must stop to talk.
I agree with the mention because I think boys and girls should be in different classes because they have different things from each other. When boys and girls are put together in one class, the difference between them becomes very obvious. The boys are interested in one thing while the girls are interested in another. When boys and girls learn together, they are subconsciously trying to impress each other, thus leading them being distracted. However, when students are in separated classroom, students have more concentration.
In the opinion of researchers, mental and physical development in boys tends to be later than girls by about 2 to 3 years due to the more rapid development of female brains, and this are not to hinder them. Education systems tend to be geared more toward girls, leaving boys slightly behind.
Permission to say my argument about this mostly. I don't agree about this mostly because boys and girls should not be separate in different classes. Psychology believes that the desire to impress members of the opposite sex begins at a very young age. When both genders learn together, they are substantially trying to impress each other, thus leading to them not being distracted whenever boys and girls better good in one class.
I don't agree with this. How can children grow and develop socially, including how they behave, respect, cooperate, communicate toward the opposite sex, if student are separated? I think this is not in accordance with the spirit of education itself. The thing to note is the ability of teacher to educate or which student is one class. For example, creating a class atmosphere that respects each other by gender, eliminating the habit of bullying, especially between genders, and so on. In addition, it is also necessary to make school policies that can limit student behavior that is inappropriate, invalid, or unrelated to their education. For example, prohibiting students from dating, prohibiting students from mocking each other, especially those of the opposite sex, and so on. Finally, the separation of students and students of those greater the achievement of educational goals perfectly.
To refute, but in other side, girls are often known to be shyer than boys, while they are good at carrying out certain tasks with precision. Their shyness when in a class full of boys can sometimes be difficult for them, and cause them to hold back out of fear of ridicule, leading to a reduction in class participants.
Permission to revolt. So sorry, but in my opinion, boys and girls should be unique because that it was where the formation of a small social community began. And also, basically in social life, men and women will need each other and socials. If men and women not are separate in class, then there will be interaction and diversity that will help them in socializing in the future.
As I know, if students are in separate class, it can prevent them for having a special relationship with their classmates, which will make it difficult to focus on learning because they will focus more on paying attention to their partners. Especially when they have problems with their relationship, they will tend to be lazy in learning and will to be excited.
My opinion, however, special school for men or women are not good for child development. A study conducted in the United States proves this. The research was conducted by Research and Pennsylvania State University. According to the studies, parenting the sex makes not be the same basically why for children to learn and develop themselves. In the study, it was revealed that children attending one sex specialist school we are not more education than children is general school. Not only that, it's easier for children to achieve gender stereotypes if they go to special school for boys or girls. These long-term consequences, for example, are that girls get used to being influenced with other women. Then when they have to deal with the real world, that does heavily, said Lane Lieben, professor of psychology and education at Penn State, who also led the research. From ABC News. In the study published in the journal Science, research concluded two preschool classes in one class. The teacher used language this only specific to the one gender.
But in addition, with a mixed class, students will be more not confident when asked to do questions in front of the class or want to ask about material that you don't understand. This is because they are afraid of being wrong and will feel ashamed if it's known not to understand or not can do the question in front of the class.
Permission to reverse again. This is my story. I also once felt that when I was in middle school, I felt that my class only consists to women for 3 years. When I entered high school, what I felt was that it was more difficult for me to start and interact with the boys in my class if I had never been together with the boy. And it was during high school where I was in the same class with boys that made me more confident to interact and start conversation with boys I didn't know before.
To recall, in my opinion, the separation of the female and male class is better because it's the learning process. It will be more focused and motivate also the mankind as association between women and men, and also this condition can make it easier for teacher to provide the same service to students.
In my opinion, precisely what matters is the ability to teacher to educate or grade student is one class. For example, creating a class atmosphere that respect each other by gender, elimination the habit of bullying, especially between genders and so on. In addition, it is also necessary to make school policies that can limit student behavior that is implied or unrelated to the education. For example, prohibiting students from dating, prohibiting students from mocking each other, especially those of the opinion sect, and so on. This will deter students from doing negative things.
Good. The most boys are more daring than girls and love to run their own lesson. As a rule, they tend to step out of the box when completing assignment and try to find their own ways to reach answer, making each task a new adventure.
Permission for reverse. Last time, my opinion, by separating, boys also cannot develop normally without the presence of girls around them. Girls too cannot develop proper ways to communicate with boys. It is natural to be attracted to the opposite sex. This should not be something that we deliberately prevent.
The version of the study room is claimed to have the support of parents of the student. They only think that this system can reduce the effect of promiscuity, but also make students more focused on learning without being affected by the height. Although there is clear separation of space, there is no difference in learning process for male students and girls.
Permission to refute. But according to research at French State, Science was studied the nervous system have never found solid evidence showing difference is the learning styles of boys and girls. The research also added based on a review from the Department of Education in America, wherein the definition in result between children attending one sex-specific school and general schools.
The conclusion in this debate is that men and women cannot or cannot be in the same class and also cannot. This can be returned according to their respective perspective and thoughts. Each member can shake hands. Thank you for joining this debate.